The hosts feel it would be a little unkind to present this podcast without just a word of friendly warning. We are about to unfold the story of Frankenstein, a man of science who sought to create a man after his own image without reckoning upon God. It is one of the strangest tales ever told. It deals with the two great mysteries of creation, life and death. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now's your chance to. Well, we've warned you. Hello and welcome once again to the Frankencast. I'm the mad scientist Anthony Bowman. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm joined as always by...
the sadly logical conclusion that is capitalism and fascism. That is Eric Velasquez. My pronouns are also he, him.
Yeah, so we're back with Repo, the genetic opera.
You sure are.
Which I can't remember. I know it's come up a couple times recently in other episodes, and it was like, I guess we need to talk about this movie since we keep like referencing it.
Yeah.
I don't remember in what context it came up, but
I'm sure there was a little glass vial somewhere.
Yeah, but I was excited. Like, I have not seen this in so long that it was just like, I mean, it was basically like seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
What a wild fucking movie. Like, it is
what
just...
a wild movie.
There's nothing else like this, which is always one of my favorite things to be able to say about a movie. Whether I love it or hate it or whatever, like, if I'm just like, this is the only movie like this, great work. Like, you've done something impressive. You know, there's so many movies that are like, I've seen this before, but
right.
You haven't seen this before. Like, this is like nothing else.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it is its own little thing. So, do we want to kind of get behind the scenes of kind of where it started?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so back in the day, I believe it's Terrence Zdunich, a.k.a. Grave Robber, a.k.a. the guy who basically wrote this thing. They were doing a, what exactly was it? It was a kind of like a theater. They were at a, what exactly was the name of it? Sorry, I'm terrible at research. But they were doing kind of a, like, mini operas at these other gatherings.
Okay.
And eventually someone, like, it spiraled a little bit, and then what was it? I believe it was called The Necro Merchant's Daughter at one point, and then I think it fell into the hands of Terrence Bousman. Is that it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he basically was like, "Hey, let's go ahead and or Bousman. But him and Zdunich got together and they started making a movie, and somehow got Paris Hilton involved as well as Paul Sorvino and Anthony Stewart Head. What the heck? Yeah,
like, this has it has a good cast, and it's like a weird cast. Like, yeah, Paris Hilton.
Real talk. We were denied. We were too good, apparently, in our own mind for Paris Hilton's Scream Queen time.
Yeah, because she's also in House of Wax from around this time, and I love that movie. I think she's great in it. She's not... She can do one thing and do it pretty well, and both of those movies, she's a similar character, but, like, I think it's fun. Like, I would have liked to see her do more of this.
Right. Denied our goth queen, Paris Hilton.
Yeah. And, like, Anthony Stewart Head, of course, I mean, we all know him as Giles from Buffy, and, like, so this doesn't feel like a huge leap for him. Even, like, there's a couple episodes where Giles sings in Buffy, so, like, this makes sense. Paul Sorvino is, like...
a good musician.
Yeah. But Paul Sorvino, it's very strange. I mean, this is, like, he's in Goodfellas and stuff. Like, what is he doing?
He's like an opera singer.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah. Well, not almost, he is. Sorry.
Yeah. And I really did like that, like, each character, that does a lot of singing in this brings a whole different sort of vibe to the way they're singing, and, like, that kind of characterizes them as well. Like, he's just straight up doing opera, and it's great. And then, like,
you have like the sort of more like especially the grave robber who like wrote the songs, like he's got like a more sort of, a lot of them are kind of in the like a nu metal-ish vibe, but like are grungy, but it works.
But
like,
how good is it to have like the like grunge goth metal, like, I don't know, he's almost a rebel but not exactly, and he's also the storyteller. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's almost like the Greek chorus or whatever. He's kind of like in the background, like telling you what's going on. Like he pops up to kind of like fill in the blanks and stuff.
Right.
But like he's also a character. Like he's not outside of the story the way the Greek chorus would be. He's in there.
Right. In a degree, he kind of kicks off the story to a point as well. Oh, we forgot to mention Alexa Vega, who is from Spy Kids, which the Spy Kids fans out there will be very angry. And then Blind Mags is Sarah Brightman. So,
and then we also have Bill Moseley.
Bill Moseley.
So Paris Hilton's two like idiot brothers. We have Bill Moseley as like Luigi, the sort of the like horny weirdo.
So this is the Borgias, right? Like this is just the Borgias.
It kind of is, yeah.
Okay.
And then the other brother, Pavi, he is played by a guy who goes by the name Ogre. He was the lead singer of the band Skinny Puppy.
Right.
Which it's weird because he has probably like the least singing in the movie. Like he doesn't do a lot, which is weird that we got like a singer from a metal band and then didn't really use him that much, and he's kind of doing a weird voice affectation anyway. Like he's
he's like, it's me, Mario.
Yeah.
Even though nobody else even tries that.
Yeah. It's just like this movie is just making wild choices and having a great time with it. So like you can't fault it. It's
also maybe he was meant to be one of a bigger character because Pavarotti. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, okay. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Maybe he was supposed to be who Amber Sweet became, and because Amber Sweet was being played by Paris Hilton, she just took it over.
Yeah, that could be.
Let's also, there are allegations against Terrence Zdunich of being a little bit, once again, allegations, nothing confirmed that I saw, but he's been a little bit of a pest as far as the sexual concerns. So, he's on the watch list, we'll say. How about that?
Yeah. God, I hate that there's so many episodes that we do where we have to be like, well, this happened. Yeah, like,
I mean, if guys would just stop,
Yeah.
As a guy who doesn't do that,
yeah,
we could just stop.
Yeah. It's unfortunately, like, I think it's just men in power.
Power becomes addictive, yeah. Or power reveals. We'll say that. I'll say that. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about organ failure.
Right. So one of the like main sort of like outside of the fact that it's a musical, the other sort of conceit that this movie leans into is it uses like sort of motion comic like
it works. It works really well.
I think it's a way to kind of like fill in blanks really quickly without having to like spend a lot of money. But yeah, it works, and it kind of fits in this way where it's like it's like the lore, so it makes sense for it to be a comic book that like it's sharing this sort of history with us.
And I think it also like on certain scenes where it pops up, it like really punctuates punctuates the moment effectively.
Yeah, especially like this first one just kind of like sets the stage, but overall, eventually we'll get a lot of flashbacks, and it will use like rhyming language from flashback to flashback in a way that like it feels very poetic, and it feels like all of these different stories are running parallel, and like that one sort of informs the way the next one plays out and stuff.
They're all interconnected, which is interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, so this first one, it's like we're set in this sort of not too distant future, and there's like an epidemic of organ failures. All these people are dying. The world's kind of falling into chaos. But then, Jinko arrives, and they allow people to have organ failures or organ transplants. But as the transplants become so important to like the human race thriving, it becomes like a status symbol. People start getting transplants that they don't need. It becomes a vanity thing. And then suddenly,
with the help of Zydrate, it becomes even more of a thing.
Mm-hmm. So Zydrate is an expensive and addictive painkiller. So it's easier to have surgeries now because you're just hopped up on Zydrate. And so then there's a black market for Zydrate, so more people can get access to the painkillers. But then there's
grave robber.
Yeah, because the way that you harvest Zydrate is you drain it from corpses, basically.
Right. So which fluid would that be? I'm just curious, or is it because of in the near future, whatever's causing the organ failure creates Zydrate?
Yeah, it could be. I'm not. Yeah.
Tell me more about Zydrate.
There's a lot of vagueness here. But the other side of it is
that's not the point, right?
Yeah. The other side is that GeneCo, because so many people are taking advantage of their wares, that people are massively in debt as they start, getting vanity surgeries.
So Roddy Largo wants to help people. So he's like, hey, government, how about you, I don't know, let me give these things at let's say a prime loan, maybe a subprime loan. And, which very topical for that time and kind of still topical today. And then, maybe if they don't pay it, we just repossess their organs.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, as we've this is definitely about how capitalism is evil, and it allows people the sort of the fiction of being safe and thriving and having the things you need to live, but then at the drop of a hat, it can take it all away. And whether that's your house, as we see often in real life, or in this case, your actual bodily organs that you need to live. Organ repossession becomes legal, and now the Largo family is the most powerful family because they control everything. They control everyone's ability to live.
Capitalism.
And so for those that can't pay, they send in the Repo Man, and then we go from our comic book into a live action scene and our first musical number where we have just this is where we get the grave robber and just some other sort of chorus type people singing the song about the Repo Man, who is cold and callous and will rip the beating heart from your chest if you owe money on it.
Absolutely. You gotta love that, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a monster.
Yeah. And so as they're kind of giving us more backstory about who the Repo, or what the Repo Man does, and how we all have to live in fear now that our our organs
versus
can be taken.
An army of Repo Men, just the one guy. That's it. That's all they need is just the one guy.
Yeah. We'll also have the camera kind of pans across this CGI city. And one of the things that we'll mainly kind of hover across is this massive Jumbotron screen playing footage. So this is the genetic opera is the subtitle of our movie, but it's also an actual genetic opera that takes place in this world. This is the most popular form of entertainment.
We've got layers.
Yeah, so we have Mag, the sort of blind Mag is what everybody calls her.
Right.
She's
literally
the big
call
star.
her blind Mag. That's wild.
But we're seeing footage of her performing, but it's an advertisement because Mag's final farewell performance at the Genetic Opera is coming soon. So make sure to get your tickets because this is your last chance to see Mag on stage.
Right. Because she'll never be performing again for reasons. We're not gonna, we're not gonna elucidate on those. It's just gonna happen. Mm-hmm. We all know what that is. Yeah.
So then we cut to, Roddy Largo's office, where he has these sort of two henchwomen who are they're dressed sexy, but also in vaguely suit. It's like a French maid costume, but the suit version of that. Yeah.
I call them the business babes.
And they've got they've got machine guns, and they come into his office and they have a manila envelope full of photographs of all three of his children in sort of like compromising, embarrassing positions.
Right. And we learned that Luigi Largo, Amber Sweets, who's for some reason not named Largo or Largo, and Pavi Largo. Yep, they all kind of suck in their own special way.
Yeah, and he's disgusted by this. Like, he's not surprised. He's just like, oh, my failure children. Like, I don't know where I went wrong that I ended up with these three disasters.
Exactly.
And then we're interrupted. A doctor comes in. Yeah.
I've got bad news for you, Pavi.
Yeah.
Or Roddy.
You have a terminal illness, and there's not much time, and no organ transplant will save you. It's done. Like,
yeah, what's the most cartoonishly evil thing to do when someone tells you bad news? You have your business babes kill the doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they just gun him down, and then the three of them get into an elevator, and this is where we get the first song from him. And, as we said, Paul Sorvino has like this operatic voice, and he's singing about the things that you see in a graveyard, and he's concerned, who's like, now that I know I'm dying, and my children are all awful, what am I going to do? Like, right. This is kind of, this is like Succession, one of the most popular TV shows right now is basically the same plot, like a powerful father near the end of his life, and his, I guess it's like King Lear, like this is a common story, but here... For
people in power, maybe, I guess,
Yeah. So we're kind of bouncing back and forth between him in the elevator saying this and like, a graveyard where we have this girl who kind of goes into a crypt,
wearing a gas mask, of course.
Mm-hmm. And she has like a book where she's trying to identify bugs. Like, this is her hobby. And
we find out this is her mom's tomb that she goes into.
Yeah. And then we see, while she's kind of just like innocently, kind of taking part in this hobby that she has in the middle of the night, the grave robber from earlier, he is also creeping through the graveyard, and he is, opening graves and extracting zydrate from corpses. So he is, doing more black market stuff.
Right. But she follows a glowing bug outside of the tomb, and that's kind of where they don't exactly interact, but they go around each other.
Yeah, like she's hiding from him, and he doesn't know she's around. And, the thing with musicals is it's always kind of like vague, like, do the people around them, like, are we all singing? Do we know we're singing? Like, what's...
Right. Is it diegetic, or is this, like, really happening? Yeah.
But there's a really great bit where, like, he's triumphantly holding up his syringe of Zydrate, and he says,
"Still it's my... graves!"
Yeah, he just yells graves at, like, the top of his lungs, which immediately draws the attention of all kinds of police who, like, rush in. There's police helicopters overhead. So it seems like they can hear him singing. And so now he's on the run, but also this girl also is on the run because, like, police are, like, they don't know that she's innocently in the graveyard. It looks like they're both just grave robbers, so...
but he's like, oh, hey, I don't know you, but here, follow me. We're going to get out of here.
And they end up kind of like tripping and falling into like this pit.
Charnel house.
Full of dead bodies. Yeah, and
he's like jackpot.
Yeah, and he's also like, hey, I don't know what you're doing here, but like, if you like hanging out in graveyards, I got a job for you. And she's like, no, that's not what I'm here for.
All right, well, let's get back to that chorus where I steal and rob, great, and then they get busted one more time. Like, dude, control yourself.
Yeah,
calm down.
But this time it ends up working against her. She gets grabbed by the police and dragged out as he is able to run away.
Right. We also learn that she has a blood pressure issue.
Yeah, something starts beeping, and like a monitor goes off, and the cops are like, "What is this?" And we see that they have a direct line to Roddy, and they're like, "What should we do?" And Roddy's just like, "Just let him go." So it seems like Roddy knows her somehow, and is like, "I don't want to get her into trouble."
Right, and this is when the Repo Man shows up, and the character Shiloh, we're going to learn her name in a moment, passes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have her waking up in bed. And like when we had her in the graveyard, like she, has like long dark hair, looked, like a regular girl for the most part. But now she wakes up
she's
and
bald.
she's bald. Like she has like a wig that she wears sometimes, presumably. And she's being sung to by her father, Anthony Stewart Head.
Gaslit by her father. Mm-hmm. You weren't anywhere. You were here the whole time. You just passed out.
And she describes that, she saw this guy stealing stuff from the graveyard, that she, the police got to her, but they let her go or whatever. And he's just like, and she talks about the giant pit of bodies, and he's like, no, that doesn't sound true. That's, as you said.
That doesn't sound like something I made.
Yeah, he's very much gaslighting her here. And we get a lot of backstory in their song that we find out her mother died of a rare blood disease as she was being born. He was able to save her, but not her mother. And he's a doctor, and he'll stop at nothing to keep her safe.
I don't know. This random blood disease sounds made up. I don't know. I don't buy it.
Yeah. So he locks her in her room. She's got a very Disney princess kind of thing here, where she's like a Rapunzel or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and he even ominously promises, "I'll keep you safe."
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, and so then, we have like her singing a song. She has like a little hologram of her mother, and she's singing about like, why did you give me this? Why is why are my genetics such a bitch? I think she says.
Right. Which is awesome. That's a hell of a line.
Yeah. So then we get our first of the comic book flashbacks, which is Nathan's story. Nathan being her father, and we find out that Nathan and Marnie, they had a happy marriage, a child on the way. Marnie got sick, and
he thinks he found a cure for it.
Mm-hmm, but the cure killed her.
He could only save one. He could only save his daughter or his wife. And he chose the daughter.
And he could only save one. Like that's one of those lines where like later it'll be like she could only love one, or like this sentence is like repeated in variations as we go. But so that we kind of go from the flashback to the present, where like Nathan is singing a song calling out to Marnie
to a hallway of her holograms, and like I don't know. I love the one quote unquote portrait at the end of the hall that's like her, but her face is covered in a black veil. Mm-hmm. But it's like the actress is really just sitting behind a window that looks like a portrait.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like as he's singing to Marnie, we get little bits of like a hint of, we don't know exactly what's going on, but he blames himself for Marnie's death, but he also blames himself. He keeps saying that like Shiloh can never know the truth. I'm living a lie. I'll never let her go. She's all that I have, but I'm a monster. I'm a villain. And then we find out that he is the Repo Man. He has
a secret lab.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, that's his big secret. He's the Repo Man. And so we see his lab, and then we cut away to the Largo kids and their sort of introduction.
Right.
And we have all.
I didn't know that I need to hear Bill Moseley yell at Paris Hilton, but that was a lot of fun. Like they suck. They just suck as people, but it's still a lot of fun.
And they have they have this sort of like antagonistic sort of relationship, but then we also have Pavi, who's like, why don't you two just go ahead and fuck? Like clearly this antagonistic relationship you have is veiling something else. And
boy, where did those Borgias come from one more time? And they each
sort of like the movie does a good job of like kind of having these sort of like simple weird characters that each have their own, like, so we find like Luigi is like a pervert. He likes weird deviant sex. He wants to like
he thinks he's also the smartest in the room, but yes, he literally says, if there's not a hole, I'll make one and then I'll fuck it.
Yeah, and like he stabs a girl with like one of the servant girls with a knife as he's saying that. Like he does not like life is not valuable to him. No. Meanwhile, Amber Sweet is vain. They got Paris Hilton for a reason. She's like this sort of like vapid society girl who, she's addicted to surgery. She wants to look more and more beautiful all the time.
Right, but she also wants to out-sing blind Mags. Mm-hmm. Or Mags.
And then
And
Pavi,
Pavi's just here to fuck around. I don't really know what he
weird.
brings.
His main thing is that he's got like a rubber face, like a kind of leather face, or like that weird run of Batman where the Joker cut off his face and then stitched it back on. That kind of look.
I need to know, did that happen before this? Like, was that a direct inspiration?
I think the Batman thing happened later, so I bet
this they took it from this?
That. Could be, yeah.
Wow.
Because it looks more like that than it looks like Leatherface. Because it's like there's like a strap around the back of his head, and it's just like it's gross and weird and like.
This movie came out in 2008, and that run of Batman started in November of 2011. So this inspired that version of Joker. So enjoy that.
Nice.
That's what we're saying right now.
Yeah.
It. All right.
And we get from them all that they know that their dad is near the end of his life. I don't think they know that he's sick, but like he's old.
Yeah.
So they're all like, the company's going to be mine.
Yeah.
So again, that's a whole succession deal here.
Where did Pavi get the idea he was going to get it? Like, there's a lot of people in line ahead of you, bro. Like,
yeah. We've got our like sort of like smart eldest son, or our beautiful like famous daughter, or our weird little freak. No, we
I mean, sadly enough, the weird little freak usually wins. But I'm just saying, like, where was he going to pull this out at? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
And so we go from that to back to Shiloh. She's locked in her room still.
We actually get an ad for Blind Mag's literal genetic opera.
Yeah, so and Shiloh is like watching it out the window, so we kind of see, but we find out that like it's an ad for her opera, but it's also an ad for cornea implants, which she has.
Because she was blind at one point.
Yeah, this is why she's Blind Mag. She's no longer blind, and that's because she has these implants that not only
cornea transplants.
They let you see, but they also record what you see, so you can like. It's a great thing where you've got like recordings of everything you've seen. You can go back and like revisit your memories in perfect detail.
How awful is that Pavi would have access to that? You know what he's doing. I don't need to say it. We all know what he's doing.
Yeah. He's
going to run a Buc-ee's in the future. Anyway, you looked that one up.
When we did the VHS like segments, there's that one where the guy has this exact same thing. The retina implants. And that record everything you see.
Yep.
So while Shiloh is watching this, she has like a watch that has like a little hologram thing. She gets a message from Roddy Largo.
Who's this? What?
Yeah, she's like a hermit. The only person she knows is her dad. She's been locked in her room her entire life. So who is this guy? But he's like, I have information that would be valuable to you, and I even have a cure for your rare blood disease.
Right. I was a friend to your mom.
Yeah, so let's meet, and I can explain everything.
Yeah, meet at your mother's tomb, which that's fun. That's great. Meeting at mom's tomb, that's great. Then we get Roddy's story.
Yeah, and again, so the last one it was like two lovers, Nathan and Marnie, and now it says two lovers, Roddy and Marnie. So we're getting again the echoes and stuff. And so at first I was like, oh, she was having an affair with Roddy, but no, she was with Roddy first.
Then she met Nathan and fell in love with him.
Yeah, and broke Roddy's heart.
Well, what did he decide to do? You break my heart, I break. Never mind. Anyway, I kill you, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she got sick first. It seems like that was natural, and Nathan actually did come up with a cure that would have saved her, but Roddy sent a henchman to put poison in the cure.
What a dick.
Yeah.
One, how did he know that? I guess, to be fair, Nathan is kind of naive, but not.
Mm-hmm. This, I think the Nathan we have in the present is maybe less so, but, this Nathan is certainly...
I feel like the Nathan we have in the present has... what is that? It's not bipolar or schizophrenic. It's... Anyway, the point is there's two personalities in the guy. There's the doctor and then the Repo Man personality.
Yeah, it dissociative identity disorder, is that what they call it?
Thank you.
Yeah, DID.
Yes.
So it does seem like he has that I think there's some people that maybe have this just like genetically, but then I think there's some people that like kind of
abuse could cause that too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's kind of what's happened here. Is he's sort of had to split himself into two versions because of this horrible event, and we'll get more specifics about it as we go.
Basically, blame Roddy. Roddy created that.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's especially cruel to be like, he didn't just kill Marnie. He killed Marnie in such a way that Nathan thinks it was his fault, that he failed her in some way.
But that also got Nathan more under Roddy's control. Which, he loves punishing Nathan for, one, stealing his girl, and two, just being there, I guess. Well, mostly just stealing his girl.
Yeah. So we kind of go from the flashback to the graveyard where Shiloh is arriving, and she hears Roddy singing to Marnie and about I'm
not going to give my children this thing.
Yeah, I'm going to go out with a bang.
Yeah. Well, when he says bang, he has his business babes kick in the door of the tomb and throw in gas.
Yeah, so they end up the business babes grab Shiloh, throw her in the back of a limo, and he's singing to her that there's hope. He could cure her, and not only cure her, but he could make her basically in the same way that Blind Mags is the poster girl for these corneal implants. He could make her the poster girl for this new cure for this blood disease. Right. And he's like, so come with me to Blind Mag's last performance. It's just going to be a big glamorous event, and I want to take you there, and then we can talk more about the specifics.
Right. She's like, well, I got to tell my dad. He's like, does your dad need to know everything? Does he need to know it?
Yeah.
Which, that's a sign of a bad person. If they ever say that, run away from them.
Absolutely, yeah. And we cut from him saying, does your dad need to know everything, to her dad, who is hacking into this dude and talking about how his job is rough and thankless. And but,
okay, he has the fascist helmet, which, it's basically like Nazi attire. But it's so wild when he kills the guy and puppets him, uses him as a hand puppet.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good scene.
Yeah, it's again, like we were saying, because there's the human Nathan who feels bad about what he's being forced to do to get by, and who has all this guilt about what his daughter knows and doesn't know and everything. But then when he's the Repo Man, when he puts on the mask, he's something different. And he's gleefully yanking out the guy's guts. And as you said, he shoves his hand up through the guy's body cavity and is puppeting his actual mouth with his hand. It's gruesome, but hilariously so.
Right.
And it's he's puppeting him, and it's he's doing a duet where he's singing both parts and making the puppet version of him his backup singer. It's great. It's really fun.
It is. And then, of course, what do you do when you got a lot of blood on your Nazi attire? You hose it off, I guess. Well, I mean, that's probably why it's made out rubber or something, right?
Yeah.
Easy to do.
And then elsewhere we have Pavi. The place where they all are, it seems like they kind of hang out at backstage at the Genetic Opera. It's very circusy. There's just kind of a lot of people around and everything.
It's almost got a carnival atmosphere to it.
Yeah. And we have the sort of nurses for Gene Co are called Genterns, and they are also kind of just sexy ladies generally.
Right. They're basically in this scene to kind of bang / do surgery on Pavi.
Yeah, they're giving him a new face. He has to rotate out. I mean, presumably these faces he's wearing are like Leatherface. They're actually cut off of people.
His final face. Oh, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. But we'll talk about that much later.
Yeah.
And then Luigi just stabs the dude to death for giving him bad coffee.
Yeah. We're really seeing how awful all of them are. And again, they're arguing about who's going to take over.
Amber wants Mag's job. She's like, when you quit, I'm going to be the new, falsetto or soprano?
Yeah. And at this point, Roddy comes in with Shiloh, and he wants to introduce her to Mags. And so we get Blind Mag's comic book flashback story. And where it's been two lovers, this and that. Now it says two best friends, Mag and Marnie. So Mag was blind, like that she had been blind. This isn't like something that happened to her.
Right. Her friend Marty introduced her to Roddy.
Yeah, who thought he could cure her.
By the way, they were around 17, maybe a little bit older when they met Roddy. Roddy's most certainly not 17 at the time.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
So that's fun.
Is certainly older.
Yeah.
And so, he does set Mag up with these implants, and her life seemed perfect until she realized that contract she signed with Gene Co. was signed in blood.
She made a deal with the devil.
And where it's been like, he must love only one and all this, or choose only one. Here it says, she must serve only one, being Gene Co.
Right.
So, the reason that she's performing in the genetic opera is that she has to. She doesn't have a choice. This is her payment for having gotten these eyes.
Right. Well, they'll even sing together that, she's his property.
Yeah, which, again, we flow right from the flashback to this press conference leading up to the performance where Mag is saying, this is my retirement performance, and Roddy is like, yeah, he says, like, please don't go. And I mean, technically I own you, so I should just be able to tell you that you can't leave. But just
that's
kidding.
A joke.
Yeah, I would never. You're free to go. You're your own person, obviously.
But everyone knows it's like, yeah, that's not a joke. He means it for sure.
Yeah. So we have, as this kind of like this press conference, it's all chaotic. There's all these people interviewing or asking
She even
questions.
cuts the ribbon to the opera.
Yeah. And we see Shiloh is kind of in the background of the crowd, and she stumbles out into another sort of tent area in the carnival, and it's a surgery room. So she's like, "What's this about?" And then we cut.
Nathan gets called to repossess some organs of somebody.
Yeah. So we get this great bit where like. We have Shiloh in this weird surgical room. Meanwhile, Nathan is hacking into another guy, just chopping him up.
He gets a reminder to remind his daughter to take her meds.
Yeah, which she gets the reminder on her watch, and he gets it too. So he gives her a call while he's chopping up this guy.
Hey, where are you? That sounds weird. Doesn't sound like home. She's like, nah, it's home.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, of course. I would never leave home. That's where I am all the time.
My window's cracked because that's what the cracked window sounds like.
And he's like, I could come right now if you need me. And she's like, no. If you're working, just keep working. Do your thing. It's fine. I'm fine.
By the way, how are you? What are you up to? And he's like, oh, I'm just doing surgery on a guy. Yeah. So they're both lying to each other. It's like, Yeah. I like how it's mirrored.
Yeah, it's really good. And so once they hang up, the grave robber peeks into the tent where Shiloh is. And he's like,
hey, come here.
Yeah, you're in trouble. You may not know it yet, but let me help you escape. We need to get out of here. And she has enough sense to be like, yeah, things seem a little weird here. Maybe I should go.
Right. So let's think about Zydrate. This is where a famous line, the Zydrate comes in a little glass vial thing comes from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have, like, I think one of the reporters asks Roddy, like, does this... What do you have to say about allegations that your all surgery like encourages Zydrate addiction? And he's like, let me bring in my daughter. She has a charitable organization that helps people, break the addiction. Like we're doing a lot of work to help with that. Right. Amber, come on out. And then she just doesn't come out, and he's like, God damn it, fucking Amber. Right. She's so unreliable.
And the panel here is literally Amber Sweet is a no-show. ... again.
Yeah. Then we get another sort of comic flashback where we kind of go into how all the Largo children are failures. That Amber is addicted to surgery, and everybody knows it. And then we go back to Shiloh and the grave robber running away. They're passing through like the red light district where there's like a bunch of sex workers who are like talking about how they're all addicted to Zydrate.
One got her first surgery at 13 and pretty much was turning tricks ever since.
Yeah, it seems like it's like a cycle that feeds itself where like they need to keep getting surgery to be the hottest versions of themselves so they can keep getting work so they can pay for the Zydrate so that they can get the surgery and it just never
It's like
ends.
drugs. It's a not so hidden metaphor for drugs, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, I apologize. This is where we get the song about Zydrate being in a little glass vial.
Yeah.
And we also learned that Amber is addicted to, quote-unquote, the knife. Which, surgery addiction is wild because it exists. And I don't necessarily know that he knew, Terrence Zadunis knew this was a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like in the context of this movie, it seems as outlandish as everything else in the movie. But yeah, there are people who do this. There are reality shows about it now. I mean, it's like, it's not as common as like, being addicted to like, Oxy or something, but it's certainly a thing. And yeah, so we kind of have this like Amber shows up in the red light district in this like back alley, and it seems like you should theoretically be too good for this, but like if you're that addicted and you need the Zydrate and you need the surgeries, you go where you can get them.
Right, which was wild because you think her dad would just be like, "Yo, here's the Zydrate, just here it is. Mm-hmm. You don't have to go anywhere."
Yeah. So like she's there to buy Zydrate from the grave robber, and we have this whole like everybody's singing in this part. It's this is sort of like, I feel like this is like the central song of the movie. Like it's the one that like I remembered but like we get this great bit where she's talking about like she's gonna be able to take over for Mag soon, and then the grave robber whistles the melody that is like Mag's like iconic song or whatever, and Amber's like
her off. She's like, I'll fucking kill whoever sang that.
And the grave robber
like Shiloh.
Yeah, it was Shiloh. So she starts kind of like yelling at Shiloh and everything, and this is where Amber reveals that like what we all kind of knew, that like when Mag quits, she's going to lose her eyes. She's going to be breaking the contract, and she's going to have her eyes repossessed.
Well, not only that, but she'll more than likely be killed because of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So okay.
But then, as is common in these sort of like back alley drug deal, sex work sort of scenes, the cops show up and everybody scrambles and runs off in different directions.
Shiloh makes it home.
Yeah, but Amber gets arrested, but of course the cops are like, "Hey, Roddy, we got your daughter. We'll bring her home." Like, she's obviously not in trouble. Shiloh gets home at the same time Nathan gets home, but they both think the other one was already there. Area. So they're like
coming from different ways, right? She comes in through the front door. He comes in through the. Just a second ago, he comes in from the secret lab. Effectively.
Yeah. So they both are kind of sneaking around the house. Shiloh manages to get to her room, get into bed, and fake like she's been asleep for a while.
He checks on her. He's like, "Oh, that's so sweet." And then Roddy gives him a call.
Yeah, and so he's like, "Okay, well, Shiloh's asleep, so I guess I can sneak back out." But of course, Shiloh is awake and hears all this.
Does he not have like? I guess he doesn't have the ability to just go, "Roddy, dude, I just got back from a job. You gotta let me chill for a minute."
Yeah. I guess he doesn't. He doesn't have a lot of power in this situation.
I guess not. But so he goes out and does his job, which he seems to love.
Yeah, and this one's wild because he shows up at Roddy's office, and the Largo kids are there, and they're all kind of like, just kind of
Puffy.
Yeah, they're menacing him. They're just like kind of vaguely like, like we're the ones in power and you do what we say kind of thing. Like,
right. But we got a new job for you. We got a new job, they're saying.
Yeah, and that job is to take Mag's eyes. And he's like, "Listen, I've done a lot of stuff for you, but like she was Marnie's best friend. I couldn't do that to Marnie, much less to her. Like I'm not going to."
Well, they bring in another guy who I guess crossed them because they're like, "Hey, tell you what, you can tell us all about this while you cut into this guy and take his organs."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like, "I want to remind you of who you are and what you owe us." So he's like, "Well, of course I can do that." So he's hacking into the guy, and he's enjoying it. Like he's flipped that switch to Repo Man mode, and when he finishes, like Roddy feels like, okay, yeah, we've got him back on our side. He's going to do the job, and he's like, "You got to find somebody else. I cannot do Mags. Like it's not happening." And so he leaves, and as soon as he's gone, Roddy's like, "I guess we're gonna have to kill Nathan."
Right. If he wants out, we'll take him out.
Yep.
It's fine.
But before Nathan can get home, Mag shows up at the house.
Right. We didn't mention that, like, when she saw Shiloh earlier, she was like, "You look just like your mom."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, when they were like in the circus together, but like they weren't really able to talk, and so she, comes after her and knocks on the door and is like, I'm your godmother. I need to talk to you.
Right. No one told you I was your godmother.
Yeah. And
this is almost like Harry Potter. The HP, the bad one, right?
Yeah, it kind of is.
Okay.
And Shiloh's like, why do I not know about you? I've never heard of you. And to like prove, like, I did know your mom, she's got the eyes that record things, so she's able to like...
But they also project.
Yep. So she gets like the sort of R2-D2 projection of Princess Leia thing, but of Marnie.
Turns out your dad told me you died in birth. Mm-hmm. So that's why I haven't been around.
Yeah, and so we have one thing in common, which is that we have been held captive for the last 17 years, both of us.
Yeah.
And Shiloh's like, my dad could be back at any time, and I'm not allowed to have visitors, so you should go. And Mag's like, okay, I don't want to get you into trouble. I'll go, but like, you should be careful because like I know what's happening. I know what's coming. My life is over, but you have a chance at a full, happy life.
Right.
But you're gonna have to really be careful for the next little bit to get there. Right. There's a lot of danger ahead of you.
Don't sign any deals. Don't make any contracts. You'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when Dad shows up. He's like, "Hey, Mags, what the fuck are you doing here?"
Yeah, and she's like, "I promised Marnie that I would be in her daughter's life, and you kept that from me. You lied to me." And so Shiloh sees this happening and is like, "Fuck it, it's all." So she comes out.
Yeah, they have like a fight, almost like a three-way fight, where she's like, "No, keep Mags here so she doesn't get attacked by the Repo Man." Surprise! Probably the worst place she could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Nathan's not having it. He throws Mags out and locks the door, and tries to drag Shiloh up to her room. And when they get up there, she pulls out a magazine and is like, "Look, even the magazines are talking. Like, Mags is gonna die. Like, her contract is up. We gotta save her. If she was Mom's friend, don't we owe that to Mom?"
Right. And he says, "Please, for once, shut the fuck up." Like, actually says, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, and we suddenly break into like the most like incongruous sort of musical number. Everything else has sort of like happened within the scene, but
I think it still is, but it's more poetic.
Yeah, it's sort of like Shiloh's fantasizing. It's suddenly like she's
being
singing,
17 is better than being 40 or 50.
Yeah, and this song's like straight up like a punk song, but she's like suddenly like in like a punk like club,
with
she's like on
Joan
stage.
Fucking Jett.
Yeah, it's wild. And so she's 17, she's ready to be free, and so that like
I believe she says 17 and your daughter's a fucking monster. Mm-hmm. Which no, she's not. You're not. You're just a teenager.
Yeah. Which I think that line probably is echoing Nathan saying that he's a monster earlier.
Right.
But we cut from that scene of a daughter and a father having a confrontation to another scene where Amber is singing at Roddy that she just had her worst surgery.
Well, let's not gloss over the fact that it turns out he's wearing a wig. Or a scalp. That is a wig.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Amber's got her back to him, and she's like saying that like the surgery is really bad.
This is a botched surgery.
She can't go out in public. She's so embarrassed, and he's like, "You got to stop with the surgeries. Like this is your fault. Like I've tried to give you the life that you wanted, but you just keep taking from me. I even let you pick a stage name. I let you get rid of our family name, which is important. There's like a mafia thing here, like we're part of the family, and like I let you become Amber Sweet instead of Amber Largo.
Versus Largo, yeah. And then your genes are not worthy of mine, which, I mean, they are yours, so maybe they are.
Yeah. But he keeps saying like it can't be that bad, it's fine. And then she turns and he's like, "Whoa, oh, okay, I'll get my guys right on it." Like that. Wow.
Yeah, her face is kind of jacked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like bruised makeup more than anything, but still.
Yeah, and he says, "Flesh is weak and blood is cheap, so we'll get you taken care of."
Right, but as soon as she leaves, he's like, geez, I can't wait to screw over my kids.
Yeah.
I'm just not giving anything to them. Instead, I'm going to give it to the Shiloh girl.
Yeah, he says something about, like, gold makes the world go round, and I'm going to make my children pay before I go, just like I did with Marnie.
Just so vengeful for no reason. It's like, you did this.
Yeah.
You could step in at any time and prevent most of their behavior.
Yeah. So we go back to Shiloh and Nathan, where Shiloh is like, why did you never tell me about that Mags was my godmother? And he's like, I needed to keep you safe. Like, that information was not going to be helpful. And so he locks her back in her room and goes downstairs. And
puts her to sleep, right? Or not puts her to sleep, but sedates her.
Yeah.
Is a better term. But then, isn't this when he sees Roddy pop up on her watch and like, hey, I can't wait to see you at the opera tonight. It'll be great.
Yeah, I think that might be... Because we have like a bunch of stuff kind of happening at once where like she wakes up and is looking out the window at the Jumbotron that just straight up... Yeah, it says, come to Mag's performance. We'll give you the cure. Like, it's being broadcast across the city just for Shiloh. That's how powerful Roddy is. And I think, Nathan sees that, but he also, a bunch of cops burst into the house and attack him. So he's like fighting off all these guys.
Well, he's suiting up to become the Repo Man one final time because he's like, oh, fuck Roddy, I'm going to kill that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And he goes full action hero or action villain. Or anyway, he's an action character.
Yeah, so he escapes, and then we see, like, just around the city, every Gene Co. employee gets, like, an alert from Roddy. Find Nathan, kill Nate. Like dead or alive, we want him now.
Right.
So
this is where we're kind of starting to get everyone converging at the opera, where Shiloh wakes up. Nathan's like, oh, and she goes down to get in his car, and hey, here's your mom's dress. Please wear it for me.
Yeah,
and then Nathan's like, oh, I'm going to kill Roddy. I'm going to kill all those motherfuckers.
Yeah, so like you said, it's all kind of converging. We have, Shiloh is getting changed in the limo by herself, being taken to the opera house. The Repo Man is like, he's going through like catacombs and just like killing dudes. Like it's very actiony. He's just like mowing down all kinds of guys. We also
get
have
an interruption from Grave Robber. It's like, oh, tonight at the opera, there's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, and so then we go to the opera where like it's sort of like the red carpet moment. We're getting all the people sort of converging. We have the conductor kind of like running down a red carpet with like new metal music blasting.
Well, it's like a new metal, I guess hymn, like from the 70s.
Yeah, because everybody testify. We have Gin Turns acting real sexy. They're writhing on stage, and various people in the crowd are like getting up and singing their little bit about how Gene Co. has saved them, what they've given. So like, this is sort of
with the most memorable being a single mom, quote unquote, who Gene Co. gave her a new body. Anyway, and we see that.
Yeah.
So.
She gets topless in it. Like it's. And the best part about this whole scene is because it's new metal, we obviously have all like the guitars and the shredding and stuff, but like new metal also, we got to have the rap element. So we have an old lady on turntables scratching, and it's so ridiculous. Wild. It's great. Yeah. But the last person to come down is Roddy, and he comes in looking like a revival preacher. Like everybody's like fainting and like so excited that Roddy's walking in.
Exactly.
And they're so excited. Meanwhile, Shiloh has kind of come in through like a back entrance where there's like a little theater room, and there's like a newsreel playing.
And I feel like it's all Nathan's murders.
Yeah, it's footage of the Repo Man killing people. Of course, she doesn't know it's Nathan. It's the Repo Man. He's in the mask. But it says, the one thing we need from you before we can give you the cure, our payment, is that we need your help to trap a rogue Gene Co. employee. He's gone off the rails, he's dangerous, and he's out to get you. So we need you to draw him in.
Fuck Roddy. Roddy's the worst.
Yeah. So then we
have... Are we going to Amber Sweet's performance?
Yeah, so she comes out to do her big number. This is the sort of passing of the torch from Mag to Amber.
Quote unquote.
So yeah,
but
she's
what we didn't cover earlier was when we were going through the whole everyone getting ready to go to the opera. She was literally putting on her face, her new face.
Yeah, and so yeah, midway through her musical number, her face just falls off. Like,
right.
She just has like bloody muscle and sinew underneath, and like the skin of her face just like hits the ground.
And I guess that's embarrassing. So she runs off and like, oh.
Yeah. Meanwhile, then Mag comes out for her number, and it's beautiful. There's like fake snow falling. She's on the set is like this sort of idyllic. Looks maybe like a churchyard. There's like a wrought iron fence. And midway through, she just like is connected to like a wire rig and rises up and sings. And suddenly her song changes. Like, it seems like this is, was like the written song, but suddenly she goes off book and she's like, come and take these eyes. I'd rather be blind than serve you anymore.
And literally tears her own eyes out.
Yeah, we see that like she has like beautiful long nails, but specifically her 2 index fingers are like, 6 inches long. They're way longer than the rest of the fingers, and she just jams them in her eyes. And then whoever's controlling the wire rig is upset at this visual and lets go, and she drops from the
she
sky.
doesn't let go. Roddy takes or the person doesn't let go. Roddy takes over and cuts it.
Oh,
he cuts the line.
Okay.
So he literally kills Mags.
So yeah, she drops, landing on the wrought iron fence, getting impaled. Very like Chekhov's fence here. Like you see a spiked wrought iron fence in most horror
Somebody's
movies.
gonna fall on it.
Yeah. So then, Roddy steps out on stage and he's like, don't worry, folks, this is all part of the show. Stay tuned, because next...
She's fine.
Yeah, we're going to cure a sick girl who's been kept locked away by her monstrous father all these years. And Gene Coe has saved her.
Man, he's just gaslighting everybody left and right.
Yeah. And meanwhile, we see in the backstage... Shiloh sees the Repo Man in the next room, and she sneaks up on him holding a shovel and hits him, knocking him to the ground and knocking his helmet off, revealing that it's her dad.
Right. And of course he only says, I told you not to go outside. Damn it.
I warned you the world was cruel, and I'm part of that world, and I was trying to protect you from it.
Right. Of course she's shocked that he lied to her, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, and he's like, let's just go home. We can forget all of this. We'll go back to normal. And she's like, no, of course not. You've lied to me my whole life. Everything you've said is a lie. Again, the broadcast footage of the Repo Man killing people is playing in the background, but now she knows that's her dad doing that stuff.
Exactly.
So
and she's like, no, you're a monster. And he's like, well, fine. Let your father die and let the monster rise.
Yeah. And he says something about he sees that Roddy has like gotten her allegiance, basically her loyalty. So when he says let the monster rise, like we get another animated sequence here, not a flashback. We're in the present, but there's so much going on that it's easier to show it in this motion comic version. And he's just again killing all kinds of guys as he rushes to the stage. And when he gets to the stage, he's attacked by Luigi and Pavi.
Cuts Roddy his legs out from under.
Yeah, and so he's on his knees there between the two of them, and then Roddy walks out and he's like, they're like, look, Dad, look what we did. We've got him. And Roddy's like, what? You think I'm proud of you? You two are a disappointment. This doesn't change anything.
Right. Even though they did exactly what he wanted, kind of, more or less.
Yeah, and then Shiloh walks out and she's like, I don't want to be part of... I just want my cure. I just want to be saved. I want to be free.
Right. This is when Roddy drops the bomb. He's like, hey, I'm dying, and I want to give everything to you. Mm-hmm. Not these knuckleheads. Yeah,
and then the brothers are like, also, your dad killed your mom. He had never told her that it was the cure that killed her.
Not only that, but he's poisoning you.
You don't have a blood disease. We've got like a Munchausen's thing going on here, where like he is keeping her under his thumb by making her think she's sick all these years. Yeah. So the cure, there is no cure. The cure is just stop taking the meds he's been giving you, and you'll be fine. But, you know, you're going to have a withdrawal moment. You're just going to have to fight through that pain, and then you'll be okay. So she's like, you can see that the meds are leaving her system right at that moment, coincidentally. And she's like, she ends up fainting from the pain of it.
Right. And she remembers the whole movie.
Yeah,
like
her life flashes before her eyes, yeah.
Right.
And then when she wakes up, she's like in a pool of blood, and Roddy's standing over her, and he's like, I will give you everything. I will give you my entire empire. All you have to do...
kill your dad.
Yep. And
or
so
deny your father, is what he says. Being biblical and all that stuff.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm not a murderer. And he's like, aren't you? Like, you're your dad's daughter. You've seen what he does.
Yeah,
do you think that
genes.
Yeah, those genetics definitely passed on. Meanwhile, like Nathan, he's bleeding out at this point, and he's apologizing to her, but she's not hearing it still.
She's not gonna do it.
Yeah, and yeah, she's like, I don't want to be used. My dad's been using me my whole life. I'm not going to be used by you, Roddy. And so Roddy takes the gun from her.
He's like, "Fuck, if you don't, I will." Right?
Yep. So he
but
shoots
he's choking
Nathan.
this time. He's like coughing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yep, he kills Nathan. Then Pauly and Luigi had stepped away at some point in this. They come back out. I think. Does Amber even come out too? I think we've got everybody kind of.
No, Amber doesn't come out. She only comes back at the very end.
Oh, okay.
But because she's putting her face back on. But now it's Pauly and Luigi.
Right. Yeah. So they're like.
No, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. You are correct that she does come in at the very end after Roddy has already died. So we see her defaced one more time. Yeah.
It seems like the kids are like, please, like,
Right. They actually love their dad, which is wild. And
he's like, when I'm gone, Jinko is going to crumble. It's not going to anybody. If Shiloh wouldn't do what I said, she's not getting it. Nobody's getting it. And the world will eventually won't even remember how lucky they were to have me. It's all going to crumble.
Yeah. Very lucky the world was to have this guy.
Yeah.
Right. And he dies. No one cares. Well, his kids care, but that's about it.
Yeah. And so we get this final moment as like, Nathan is now, he's not dead, but he's going to be dead in a minute or two. So Shiloh and Nathan kind of like sing their like, please forgive me. I love you. I made bad decisions.
I never knew how much I loved you is what they both say to each other.
Yeah.
Or I didn't know I loved you so much. Which it kind of weird vibes, not going to lie. It stops seeming like a father-daughter and more like a lover song.
Yeah, and it also, it's kind of too little too late as far as the apology goes, and it feels a little bit gaslighty again. Like, I did all of this because I loved you so much. And like, whenever somebody is saying, I love you and that's why I abuse you, like, that's never good. But it does seem like Shiloh is kind of just like, she's going to forgive him on her terms and be like, you did some horrible things to me, but it doesn't matter anymore. So like when he dies, she stands up and she sings that she's free at last. So like she's still appreciating that she is now fully out from under his thumb and that's a good thing. So she walks out of the opera house into like a red carpet sort of scene, like the paparazzi's all outside, camera flashes and everything.
Isn't up to Jinko, it's up to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so the grave robber kind of pops out again and, says, like, goth opera, blood saga, he's sort of, like, wrapping things up.
Right. Kind of his song, but the reprise, I guess. But we also learn, at the very end, who has taken over Jinko.
Yeah, it seems like the siblings sort of, like, have collectively together decided to take it over.
Right. With Luigi being the second, Pavi being the third, and so that means who's first? It's Amber.
Amber, yeah. And we get the like sort of great epilogue is that Amber decides to auction off her face for charity, to
prove that the Jinko's not that bad of a company.
Yeah,
not as bad as her father.
But Luigi ends up killing the top 3 bidders because he's so jealous, because he's still, he has the weird incest thing here, and he doesn't want some stranger to have his sister's face.
But Pavi won the face. But
Pavi ends up winning the face and wearing it with pride. So we have him, with the Paris Hilton rubber face on, and it says, the last thing says, the Jinko saga continues.
But it doesn't really, because we haven't heard anything since 2008. I think,
I don't think we're gonna get a sequel to this. It's
it really doesn't need one.
No,
we're good.
Again, there's nothing else like this, and there doesn't really need to be. It manages to do what it's doing in a way that you can't recreate this.
Right. I'm really one. I know this has a huge following. Like there's a lot of people who still love this. 2, I'm really surprised though that they tried to take it to Broadway, because I don't think they have.
Yeah, I think it's only ever been in little off Broadway, black box theater things. But I don't. And I don't. Yeah, I don't, because when it was a theatrical thing before the film, I don't know that it was ever this full version. Like it was there were parts of it.
Right. Because they were still working through it. Like, they literally didn't create it until the whole thing put it together till the movie.
Yeah, and I don't know that it ever went back to the stage after there was a finalized version. Which, is a shame, because, I know obviously the movie has a lot of big things that you couldn't recreate on the stage, but at the heart of it, most of the scenes take place in a few small spaces. You could have Shiloh's room, the Repo Man's lab, the graveyard, and the carnival sets, and you could get away with it in a way that I think would really work, and it would be, this. I think this, I guess it's been around almost 20 years at this point. I think it has the potential to be like a Rocky Horror thing, and whether that is just a film being played on the screen and people going nuts in the audience, or an actual live performance with cast members in person. I think it could get that kind of wild audience participation, campy kind of craziness, and it feels like a movie that has a cult following, but not quite as big of a cult following as it could have.
Right. Which is wild to say. That's interesting. Yeah, it's true.
And especially because, as we've been saying, it is so poignant. There's so much that it is satirizing that has not improved or has gotten worse. Capitalism. It's definitely about the housing market bubble in a lot of ways, and just the way that our livelihood can be taken from us by the capitalists. But that hasn't changed. It's only gotten worse, and in so many other ways. It feels as true to life now as it ever did, and maybe more so. And just talking about plastic surgery addiction, we have so many people in power now that clearly have had plastic surgery and are that don't look like real people anymore, and not that there's anything wrong with plastic surgery if it's something that makes you feel better about yourself, and it's not an addiction that is ruining your life. I go for it. But there's something about seeing these sort of people that don't feel.
I think it's also that a lot of these people that are doing it are older people who are trying to look young, and that leads to the uncanny valley, because it's you're lying. Just be older people, I guess. But I don't know. Once again, if it makes you feel good, do it. But
it also feels it's kind of Roddy here, who who doesn't want to die, who can't give up. It's the boomers staying in power and refusing to acknowledge that their time is limited. They don't want to hand the earth over to the next generations,
right? Because they're going to fuck it up. They're not going to do as good as I did, because I did a good job.
Yeah.
Did you?
Right. Yeah. They're really gonna just leave us with a pile of ash by the time that they're all out of here, and it's
we could build something new from it, but we probably won't. We probably won't.
Yeah. I hope so. It's it's hard to feel hopeful all the time anymore, and if you follow a lot of politics, if you like, one of the sort of like socialist buzz phrases that is a little bit hopeful to me is that like a better world is possible. And I like that it is possible because the saying isn't a better world is likely or probable. We're going to have to work. Possible. It's going to be hard, and it may not happen, but it is possible.
Exactly.
So, that's it. There's a little bit of hope there, but a lot of work. It's not just hope. You can't just lean on the hope and think a better world's going to happen, because it's not going to happen.
You got to put in
hope.
work.
Yeah.
What is it? Shit in one hand and shit in one hand and wish in the other, and see which ones fills up faster.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think this movie is, it's certainly a cautionary tale. It's certainly, the fact that it's a not too distant future. It feels around the corner more than ever, and we just got to try to make it not happen, however we can.
Yeah, how capitalist would it, like, it makes perfect sense. It's like, oh yeah, we've created this disease that makes organ failure. The only way to do it is to take out a loan to save yourself.
Yeah.
Subscription for life. That's what they would do if they could.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's why we have to stop it now. Anyway, yeah, so anything else to say about it? I mean, it's a good movie. I would like to see it, like, actually on Broadway, maybe fine-tune just a little bit. Take the backstory, make it more part of the main story, and then lead on from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's definitely a way to do this, and it would be really fun. So, who knows? Like, there was like a musical version of Reanimator that happened, decades after the film. There was like a Carrie musical, like
Evil Dead, the musical.
Yeah, so it could get that reevaluated. I mean, the songs are already there. You don't even have to make them. Like, it's ready to go. So who knows? Yep. It could happen.
Absolutely. All right, Anthony, anything else to say about it?
I think that's it.
So, this week we've gone to the opera. How about the only logical place, I guess, for us to go is the jailhouse?
Yeah, we're doing this musical stuff. So next week we have a kind of off the beat, like, we like to venture off the beaten path when we can, and this may be our most that way. Next week we have a very special guest, who we...
and there's a reason.
Yeah, friend of the show, Tim Kirk, is coming back, and he had a suggestion for a movie he would like to talk about, which is Jailhouse Rock.
Jailhouse Rock?
The Elvis Presley film, the film starring Elvis Presley. Obviously, it's not overtly a Frankenstein film, but he's got some stuff he wants to talk to about with us. So
is this our jumping the shark moment? Are we jumping the shark like the Fonz right now?
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Yeah, so we're real excited to have Tim back. He's he's got some stuff he wants to talk about, so we're really looking forward to that.
All right. Well, anything else to say about it?
I think that's it.
Where can they find us, Anthony?
So you can find us on all the socials at The Frankencast. You can email us at thefrankencast@gmail.com. We're also over on YouTube. Of course, you can always find us at patreon.com/thefrankencast, where, even further off the beaten path than Jailhouse Rock, maybe. We do all kinds of weird stuff over there, so we'd love to have you. If you want to hear us talk about all kinds of odds and ends, it's a great place to get an extra episode every week, so we'd love to have you.
Absolutely. And also, Anthony has a book coming out, so if the Kickstarter, I believe, is probably already wound down on that one, but...
Yeah. I think the Kickstarter should be done, but Die Books, they have a website. They'll still be, you'll be able to pre-order from there, until the book comes out. And of course, after the book comes out, you can just buy it directly from them. But as soon as I know more about specific release dates and that kind of stuff, I'll obviously share. But just be on the lookout. I would guess late this year, maybe early next year, depending on how things play out. But we should have a Bride of Frankenstein book that we can all hold in our hands and look at it. I'm so excited.
Yep, you should be. You put a lot of work into that thing. So, aside from that, to be continued, or maybe I should do, our podcast is to be, fuck it, I can't make up a song like that off the top of my head. We're going to be continued. Bye.
Looks like you've survived another episode. The Frankencast is a production of FCR Media. It's hosted by Anthony Bowman and Eric Velasquez. Follow us on Twitter at The Frankencast or send us a letter at thefreakincast@gmail.com. Our cover art is by Amanda Keller. You can find her at Keller Illustrations on Instagram. Our theme music is by Vivek Abhishek. Thanks for listening.